What if your people could feel at home anywhere in the world, no matter who they're with or what they're doing, in any city or any academic, social, or workplace environment? We need compassion and understanding and the ability to solve real-world problems together, real-time, more than ever. Apto is built on the idea of human exchange. You guide me in your world, and I guide you in mine. Together we learn, grow, and ultimately live more authentic and fulfilling lives as a global community. That's the foundation of what it means to speak human. The University of Memphis shares Apto's vision and mission, not only aspirationally, but like many institutions, their success depends on it. Also, like many institutions, they have a goal to increase the number of international and study abroad students, but relatively speaking, a small, albeit very passionate and powerful team, tasked with ensuring those students have a positive experience from recruitment to onboarding until the time they graduate and enter the workforce. Oh, and let's not forget the number of tools this small team of people has to effectively combine, not to mention the costs of time and human resources to ensure the ultimate success of their international programs. Enter Apto, one single platform combining the best technology has to offer alongside integrations in one hybrid solution that meets the needs of students, putting a safe, authentic, and global social learning community right in their hands, but also stakeholders who have access to a FERPA-compliant, private back-end platform as a service. Here's how the University of Memphis is using it. First, we defined their success metrics by aligning them with our North Star metric, the number of quality cross-cultural experiences resulting from using the app. University of Memphis wants to see a minimum of 50% of their students engaged on a monthly active basis and an overall retention of 25%. Apto is actually targeting 35% or higher retention in order to be considered an industry leader. Next, we define what students will ideally feel, do, and have as a result of their University of Memphis Apto experience.
When I first moved to the States, there was no Korean in my school. That's what I thought. There were a few, but I just couldn't find them. As Koreans, they all hide in the shade. They just don't tell people hey, I'm Korean, I'm here. So it was just so hard for me to find them and ask questions what do I do in this situation? It's just totally different environment. So yeah, I think that's really good to share their experience, and I can actually find people living there ahead of me.
Kind of zone in on what your interests are. So the point about you being, or a person being a person who's English speaking Hindu who also likes to play soccer or something like that. I think that I really liked about it, because you're able to hone in on people who have similar interests to you, and you can talk about certain topics with them and stuff like that.
Apto really fits that gap. If I'm planning on going to Ireland in 2 weeks and I start looking and talking to people that I could meet up with, or just show me around, or even just give me recommendations, I think is really cool, because it's different from going on to Google and saying top 10 restaurants in Ireland. It's more of an authentic experience, which is really important to me.
Now, the University of Memphis provides us with access to all the stakeholders they want to participate. Together, we assign codes to groups and throw an online party to get everyone in the app and having fun. The best part? Creating content is part of the student learning experience, and proprietary content can be created by university stakeholders in addition to leveraging Apto or community-generated content. So the bottom line is we can push the right content and the right connections to the right students at the right time to make sure they feel the right way and take the right actions to get the right results. And you can't go wrong with that many rights, right? U of M then sends 1,000 licenses to their 23 student recruiters in 14 countries around the world. Students log into Apto and see University of Memphis content, events, and connections focused on answering questions like, can I see myself at the University of Memphis? And how do I apply for success? Ideally, the student engages, applies, enrolls, and is accepted. U of M is happy as their recruits increase and they can scale efforts faster, more intuitively, and in a more connected way. 90% of newly admitted students are now signed up for a big virtual welcome from U of M and the Apto community. They immediately connect with an Apto buddy, someone from their home community who has been there and done that, as well as their Apto fam, exposing them to both local and diverse cultures. They get a strong sense of community before they even arrive, plus the resources to know how to do things like get to class, turn homework in online, and adjust to culture shock. And the best antidote for homesickness comes in the form of the real-world nudges that Apto provides in the form of challenges to get out of their comfort zone while still making sure they know where to buy kimchi. But U of M knows the journey doesn't stop there, and that the local staff also needs to be prepared to support the emotional roller coaster to come for these students. Apto continues to provide immediate access to the resources, content, and human connections needed as students progress through their academic and social life and ultimately prepare them for graduation and workforce. University of Memphis also believes in internationalizing their entire student population, and like many institutions are eager to find other streams of revenue to build a more sustainable program. For this reason, they have the opportunity to market and distribute Apto university-wide in Q2 of 2021 and beyond, when our premium consumer application launches, allowing them to recoup a hefty percentage of their investment via revenue sharing. These student users are creating the foundations of a global community, and because they represent Apto's ideal consumer end user, they allow us to build and test the ideal consumer journey and segue us into our direct-to-consumer model. And that benefits everyone. As our global community continues to grow and touch numerous ecosystems, student users also have access to alumni, exposure to multinational organizations hungry for international talent, and access to diverse cross-cultural connections and experiences. Apto has a massive partner distribution opportunity already underway via the Made for Samsung Partner Program that will see our application pre-installed in nearly 100 million mobile devices in the pilot phase alone, allowing our innovation partners to be the first to leverage, innovate, and influence what we believe will become the world's go-to platform for cross-cultural human interaction. To learn more about becoming an Apto innovation partner, email Tracy at aptoglobal.com.